So tonight I want to share with you what I think is Triple P's best kept secret. I have to admit I'm really enjoying doing these little snippet videos where instead of doing a whole intervention and going through everything, I get to choose what I think are the really important, interesting things to apply right now. And so I want to talk about this. So Triple P in the children's materials, the 0 to 12, there are 17 strategies. And then for teens, I think we have 13, I should actually count. But they're all laid out in a very specific way. And so I'm going to share with you. Now I'm going to try this. We'll see how this works. I'm going to try sharing my screen so that you can see what I'm talking here. And what I really hope is that you can still hear my voice, but we will see. And my share screen option went away. So I'm just going to show this to you. So this is called a strategy pyramid. All of the Triple P strategies are on here, and I'm going to post a link to it. I think this is something I can give out. So all of the Triple P strategies are listed on this one pyramid. So I'm just going to read to you what's here. At the bottom, we have spend quality time with your children, talk with your child, and show affection. That is the very baseline of this pyramid. On the next line, we have using descriptive praise, giving them attention, and having interesting activities. We move up to setting a good example, using incidental teaching, which is like teachable moments kind of a thing, using ask, say, do, having a behavior chart. And then we kind of move into a new category of things, having ground rules, using directed discussion, which you could learn more about any of these by contacting us, using planned ignoring where necessary, giving clear, calm instructions, using logical consequences, having quiet time and time out. Again, this is the children's one. The teen one looks a little bit different, but is the same layout. It obviously doesn't have timeout. We're not going to do that with teens. So it's a little bit different, but it's very similar. So all of these things are laid out in this way for a reason. And the basic idea is that we really need to be building this foundation with our children. So this spending time with them, talking with them, and showing affection, these are actual strategies. They're not just kind of the fluff stuff, and then there's the discipline and stuff that is the real serious. This is the real serious parenting. Spending time with them, showing them affection, the descriptive praises, noticing what they do well and commenting on it. And I use this in a lot of different ways when I work with families on Triple P, and I always learn something from how they apply it. And that's kind of why I want to share it with you, because there will just be a lot of different ways I think that people will find ways to use this. And one of the things is to look at, if I find myself having to constantly be using consequence or reminding my kids what they need to do, or getting upset with them, or they keep breaking the rules, or I keep having to remind them to get their homework done, or to do their e-learning, or to speak respectfully, or if we're having any of those kinds of problems. What they say in training is, if you're having a lot of problems up at the top of the pyramid, you might want to figure out whether you're doing things okay up there. And we can talk about that. And actually, I'm going to talk about that next week. But you also always want to come back to the bottom of the pyramid and see what you need to be doing, what you could do differently or better with the bottom of the pyramid. So for example, are they getting enough attention from me? Or are they getting more attention when they misbehave than when they're behaving well? So if I'm kind of ignoring all the good things they're doing, and then they start fighting or something, and all of a sudden I'm all over it, that might be a little bit of a disconnect. And so I'm going to look at the bottom of my pyramid and say, man, I need to spend a little more time with them. Do I need to talk with them? Do I need to find out kind of what's bothering them, what's going on, what their ideas are for dealing with whatever this situation is? Do I need to use that descriptive praise? Again, that's, are they getting more attention for misbehaving? So do I want to come back and really pay attention to those good things they're doing? Another big one right now that's near the bottom of the pyramid is having interesting activities. So are they acting out because they're bored, because they've kind of, all the things that we thought were so great at the beginning of quarantine time, now they're kind of tired of those, and we need to revise that plan and think up some new things. So we're always going to come back down and look. Oh, another one that's down here is setting a good example. So what am I doing, and how am I reacting to things, and how am I responding, and how is that affecting my children? We're going to come down to the bottom of this pyramid, and we're going to look at what are the things we could do better, we could do differently down here at the bottom, to figure out how how to do less of the kind of classic, more disciplined stuff. So we're going to be doing less of the, the creating ground rules, the using the quiet time, the timeout, the consequences, however it is that we do that. We're going to be doing a lot less of that if we're really focusing on what needs to happen at the bottom of the pyramid. So I would love to hear how you guys think about using this. Like I said, there are always a variety of ways that people interpret it. And over the last few videos, I've kind of forgotten some of my Triple P training. So we never just, tell people what to do. We present options. But then part of with Triple P is we'll always talk when we're actually working together. We'll always talk about, okay, which one of these do you want to try? While I was talking, what ideas did you have that you thought you might want to implement with your family? So I would encourage you right now, get a piece of paper and say, man, yeah, that really sparked an idea for me. I'd like to try that. Write it down and then write down, when will I do that? When will I start using that? How could I make that work? What would I need to put in place to be able to use that strategy? So I would encourage you, if you had an idea while I was talking, write it down and think about those questions and think about how you're actually going to use it. Another way to follow up from this session is we're going to start having live parent coffee breaks on Thursdays at 4 o'clock. If anybody is interested in joining us for that, just message us or email info@tripplepelkhart.org and we'll send you the Zoom link. We don't want to just post it for your security. So we'll send you a Zoom link if you're interested in joining us for that coffee break. This week, we're going to discuss the strategy pyramid. What ideas did you have? And get support from other parents, get ideas from other parents. And we'll talk about this, find out what's going well for you, what are challenges for you, how are you managing this time? So we'd love to see you there Thursdays at 4. Please also put comments, questions, contact us for anything more that you're interested in. And next week, we'll talk more about the top of the pyramid. Next week, I'm going to talk about what we call the start routine and the stop routine, for how to give an instruction and follow through on it in a clear, calm way so that we're really enforcing what happens up there.